Jack Turner dropped to his knees in the Montana snow and pulled the blue-lipped child into his coat. "Stay with me, little one. Stay with me now." She had one leg, a broken wheelchair, no coat, no name pinned to her dress. The preacher had already shut the church door behind him. "She ain't our problem, mister," a man shouted from the porch. Jack didn't look up. "Then she's mine. If this story moves, you hit that subscribe button and stay with me till the very end." Drop the city you're watching from in the comments so I can see how far Lily's story has traveled. The little girl's eyes were the color of weak coffee, wide, unblinking. She didn't cry when Jack opened his coat wider and wrapped her inside it. She didn't flinch. She just stared at him with a stillness that had no business on a face that young. "What's your name, sweetheart?" She didn't answer. "You hurt anywhere I can't see." Her mouth worked. The sound came out cracked. "Lily." "Lily what?" "Just Lily." "All right, just Lily. That'll do for now." A woman's voice cut across the churchyard behind him. "Mister, you oughtn't be touching her. You don't know where she come from." Jack didn't turn. "I know where she's going. She's got one leg. Ma'am, I reckon I noticed. She's been sitting out here since before dawn. Pastor said leave her be. Said somebody'd come back for her." Somebody did. Jack lifted the child against his chest. She weighed about as much as a bundle of kindling. "Me." A murmur ran through the small crowd that had gathered at a safe distance. Jack stood up slow, favoring his bad knee. Lily's arms had begun to tremble against his shoulder. He tucked her tighter into the coat. "Jack Turner that you—" A man in a wool coat stepped forward, squinting. "Ain't seen you in town in months." "Sheriff Doyle." "You taken that child?" "Appears so." "On whose authority?" "On nobody's. She was sitting here freezing to death and you folks were stepping around her like she was a broken fence post. I'm done with the talking part. Now hold on a minute, Turner." "You hold on, Sheriff. How long she been out here?" Doyle rubbed the back of his neck. "Since about 5 this morning. Maybe earlier." "And what did you do about it?" "Pastor said." "I ain't asking what the pastor said. I'm asking what you did." The sheriff's mouth worked, but no words came. Jack stepped past him. Lily's head had dropped against his collarbone. He could feel her breath. Too shallow. Too quick. "Turner." The pastor had come out of the church. "That child doesn't belong to you. Don't belong to you neither from the look of it." "She was left here. There are procedures." Procedures. Jack tasted the word like something gone bad. Your procedure was to leave a 5-year-old girl in the snow till somebody else picked her up or she stopped breathing. That what you callin' procedure, Mr. Turner? I ain't yours to mister. I'm Jack. And I'm leavin'. A woman in a green shawl stepped into his path. Her face was pinched with something that looked like worry, but wasn't. "You can't just take her. What if her people come back?" Jack looked down at Lily. Her eyes had closed. "Ma'am, if her people were coming back, they'd have come back before the frost took her toes." "You don't know that." "I know she ain't wearing a coat and it's 12 degrees. I know which one of us picked her up, and I know which one of you didn't." "Well, she's got that chair." Jack glanced behind him. One wheel bent inward, split leather seat, a stain along the armrest that was brown and old. "That chair ain't fit for a dog." "Well, it's what she come with." "Then it's going with us, too." He shifted Lily in one arm, bent down with a grunt, and hooked the wheelchair's frame with his free hand. Anybody else got something to say it now. Nobody did. At the hitch rail, an older man stepped out from between two buildings, gray beard, limp in his left leg. "Jack, Elias." "You know what you're doing, son." "Nope." "That's an honest answer." "Only kind I got in me today." Elias looked at the child. "She been talked about already. Woman came through on the stage last night, dropped her off, rode out before sunup. Kin." "Didn't look like kin, looked like hired." Jack's jaw tightened. "Hired. That's how it struck me. She didn't look at the girl once, Jack. Not once. You ever seen kin that don't look at their kin?" "Can't say I have." "Me neither." Jack looked down at Lily. Her eyes were open again, watching him. Listening. Anybody ask the woman whose child this was? Pastor tried. She said, "She's yours now," and shut the stage door. She say anything else? Said the girl didn't talk. Lily's eyes met Jack's, and she said, quiet as moth wings, "I talk." Jack let out a breath he hadn't known he'd been holding. "I heard you, sweetheart." Elias stepped closer. "Jack, listen to me now. I seen that woman. Something about her wasn't right. She had a man with her on the stage. Big fella, hat pulled low, didn't get off when they stopped for water." "Why you telling me this?" "'Cause if somebody paid to leave a child, somebody might be watching to make sure she stayed left." Jack's grip on the wheelchair tightened. "Let 'em watch." "Son, Elias, I appreciate you. I do. But I'm taking her home. Anybody wants to come take her back, they can come on out to my place and try." Elias nodded slow. "Figured you'd say that." "You figured right. You need help getting her settled." "I need a blanket if you got one." Elias disappeared into the feed store and came back with wool, thick and clean. He wrapped it around Lily himself, careful around where her right leg ended above the knee. His old hands were gentle. "Little miss," he said, "you got yourself a stubborn one. You hear me?" Lily nodded. "Stubborn's good. Stubborn'll keep you alive out here." "Elias." Jack swung up into the saddle with Lily in front of him, one arm braced around her small chest. "If that stage comes back through, I'll know. And you'll tell me." "I'll ride out myself." Jack nodded. He reined the horse around. "Jack?" He looked back. Elias's voice had gone lower. "That man on the stage, the big one, he got off after. Didn't see where he went. But he ain't on the stage no more. He's somewhere in this country." Jack didn't answer. He touched his heels to the horse and rode. Lily sat very still against him. Jack kept his arm locked around her. "Lily." "Yes." "You cold?" "Yes." "We'll be home in about an hour. You gonna make it?" "Yes." "You always say yes." "I say what's true." Jack almost smiled. Almost. "That's so. Yes." He rode a while. The horse's breath puffed white. "Lily." "Yes." "That woman that left you." Silence. "She your mama?" "No." "You know her?" "She was at the big house." "What big house?" "The one with the black fence." Jack turned this over. "Black fence. Where?" "I don't know where. I was in a wagon." "How long in a wagon?" "2 sleeps." "2 days." "Yes." "You know the name of the big house man?" Lily was quiet a long time. Then, they called him Mr. Hale. Jack's hand went still on the reins. The horse slowed without being told. "Hale." "Yes." "You sure?" "Yes. He had a ring. Gold ring. He hit the woman once and the ring cut her face." "Lily, listen to me now." "I'm listening." "You don't ever say that name to anybody." "Not anybody. Not the sheriff, not the pastor, not a neighbor." "You understand?" "Yes." "Not till I tell you it's all right." "Yes." "You a smart girl, Lily." She didn't answer for a beat. Then, people said I was broken. "That ain't what I asked." "I don't know what smart is." "Smart is when you see things other folks miss." "Then yes." Jack exhaled slow. All right then." He rode on. After a while he nodded forward. "That there's home." "Jack." "Yeah." "It looks sad." "It is sad." "Why?" He didn't answer for a full minute. Then, "Because the folks who lived there before me left." "Where'd they go?" "Dyin' place." "Oh. That's why it's mine now." She thought about this. "It's our place now." Jack's throat did a thing it hadn't done in years. He cleared it. "Yeah, Lily. It's our place." He dismounted, lifted her down, carried her inside before he even saw to the horse. "Don't move. I'll get the fire." "I can't move anyway." Jack paused. turned back. "What'd you say?" "I can't move without the chair. Without somebody." "That's what I said." Right, I know. I didn't mean—" "I know you didn't mean." He knelt at the fireplace and worked quick. His hands were shaking and he didn't know why. Well, he did know why. He just wasn't saying it yet. The fire caught. He fed it. He stood. "Lily, you hungry?" "Yes." "When'd you eat last?" "Before the wagon." "2 days ago." "Yes." Jesus. He hadn't cooked for anyone but himself in 7 years. He hadn't cooked for a child ever. He found oats. He found milk that hadn't turned. He found honey in the back of a cabinet. "Lily." "Yes." "Can you eat oats?" "Yes." "Sweet or plain?" "I don't know what sweet means." "Sweet means with honey." "Yes, sweet." He laughed. It came out rough and surprised. He hadn't laughed in a long time. He made the oats. He carried the bowl to her and sat on the bench beside her. "You need help." "I can eat." "All right." He watched her. She ate like a child who had learned to eat before anyone took it away from her. Small bites. Careful. Every spoonful deliberate. When she was halfway done, she paused and looked at him. "Are you going to keep me?" Jack didn't answer right away. He was thinking about the man Elias had described. Somewhere in this country. "Yes," he said. "I'm going to keep you." "Why?" "'Cause nobody else did." "That's not a why." He looked at her sideways. 5 years old. Talking like that. "All right," he said. "Then 'cause I didn't want to leave you out there." "Why didn't you want to leave me?" "Lily, you sure ask a lot of questions for a girl who just ate her first meal in 2 days. I need to know what kind of man you are." Jack set his own bowl down. He turned to face her fully on the bench. "Lily, look at me." She looked. "I ain't a good man. I want to tell you that right now so you don't have to find out later. I done things. I been places I ain't proud of. I got a past I don't speak on and I don't mean to. All right, but I ain't the kind of man who leaves a child in the snow. That much I know about myself." "All right. You hear me?" "Yes. That's all I got to offer. You want to eat and stay, you can eat and stay. You want to eat and go when you're bigger and can go, you can go. You ain't my prisoner. You're my guest." She stared at him, those old eyes set in a face too young for them. "I want to stay," she said. "All right then." She went back to eating. Jack stood up, walked to the window, watched the road out front. A long time. "Jack?" "Yeah." "The big man on the stage, the one Elias talked about." Jack's hand on the window frame went tight. "What about him?" "He's the one who's coming." Jack turned slow. "How do you know?" "Mr. Hale said it before the woman took me out. He said, 'If she's still livin', bring her back. If she ain't, don't bother.'" The big man was standing behind me. "You remember that word for word?" "Yes." "You sure?" "Yes." Jack walked back across the room, knelt in front of her so his face was level with hers. "Lily, why does Mr. Hale want to know if you're livin' or not?" She finished her spoonful, set the spoon in the bowl, folded her small hands in her lap. "Because I saw what he did." "What did he do?" "He killed the man in the yellow coat." Jack's breath went out of him. "You saw it?" "Yes." "You sure?" "Yes. I was under the porch. He didn't know I was there. I saw his boots. I saw the other man fall. I saw Mr. Hale kick him in the side after he was already down. 3 times. The man stopped making noise after the second one." "And he found out you saw?" "The woman told him. She was the one found me under the porch. She told him and he said the ring thing and he said I had to go away." "The ring thing. He pulled his ring off and put it back on over and over. He does it when he's thinking. He did it a long time before he said I had to go." "And they sent you here?" "Yes." "Why here?" "I heard the word Montana. I heard the word church. That's all." Jack stayed on his knees in front of her a long time. The fire popped behind him. The wind pushed at the shutters.
Lily. Yes. You're a witness. What's a witness?
A witness is somebody who saw, somebody who can tell. She thought about it. Then I'm a witness. Yes, you are. Is that why they left me out there? Yeah, that's why. Because if I froze, nobody could ask me what I saw. Jack felt something in his chest that he hadn't felt since before the war. Hot and slow and dangerous. Lily. Yes. You listen to me now. You are safe in this house. You hear? Yes. Nobody comes through that door without going through me first. You understand? Yes. And Mr. Hale, whoever he is, he ain't getting near you, not while I'm standing. All right. You believe me. She looked at him for a long moment, and then she said something he didn't expect. I don't know you yet. Jack nodded, rocked back on his heels. Fair enough. But you came when nobody else did. Yeah. So I'll believe you for now. For now's good enough. He stood up, took the empty bowl from her lap, walked it back to the kitchen. When he set it in the basin, his hands were still shaken. Lily. Yes. How old are you? 5. I think 5. The woman at the big house said 5. The woman that left you? No, the other woman. The one who fed us. Us. There were more of us. At the big house. Jack went very still. How many more? I don't know. I didn't see all of them. I heard them. There were other children. How many you hear? More than my fingers. More than 10. Yes. Jack put his hand flat on the edge of the basin. Lily. Yes. Are those children all right? She didn't answer for a long time. Some of them go away, she said. I don't know where. They come back? No. Lily. Yes. How long were you in that house? I don't know. The snow came twice. 2 winters. Yes. Jack closed his eyes, opened them, closed them again. He didn't know what kind of operation Mr. Hale was running on that property with the black fence. He didn't know why children went in and didn't come out. He didn't know why a man like that needed to pay a woman to haul a 5-year-old across 2 days of wagon country to freeze on a church step. But he was gonna find out. He was gonna find out if he had to tear every board off that black fence himself. Jack. Yeah. My leg hurts where it's not there anymore. Is that normal? He opened his eyes. Yeah, Lily, he said. That's normal. That happens to folks who lost something. I'll tell you about it. Okay. I got a story about it. For later. Okay. For now you rest. Okay. She laid her head back against the bench. Inside 5 breaths, she was asleep. Jack walked to the door, slid the bolt, walked to the window, closed the shutter, walked to the rifle above the mantel and took it down. Checked the load. Set it against the bench where she couldn't see it but he could reach it. Then he sat down in the chair across from her and watched her sleep. 5 years old, 1 leg, 2 winters in a house with a black fence, a witness to a killing, a child who said yes instead of uh-huh, who said that's not a why, who counted the other children on her fingers and ran out of fingers. Jack Turner, who hadn't prayed in 15 years, said out loud into the quiet room, all right then, we're doing this." The fire cracked. Outside, somewhere on the road between him and the black fence, a big man in a hat rode toward a town that had not found Lily Carter valuable enough to pick up out of the snow. He would find one less kind welcome than he expected. He would find Jack Turner. And Jack Turner, for the first time in a long time, had something to stand for. He stayed by the fire. He stayed by the girl. He stayed. The knock came at sundown. 3 slow, flat raps on the door. Not a neighbor's knock. Not a friend's. Jack had the rifle off the bench before Lily even opened her eyes. "Jack." "Hush now." "Who is it?" "Hush, Lily. Don't make a sound." She nodded once. Her small hands folded in her lap the way they had before. Quiet. Ready. Jack crossed the floor slow, put his back to the wall beside the door, kept the rifle low against his thigh. Who's there? Evenin'? Looking for lodging. We ain't an inn. Nearest town's 10 miles back and my horse throwed a shoe. Then walk him. Mister, it's cold. I noticed. A pause. Then quieter. I was told this place takes in strays. Jack's finger moved onto the trigger guard. Who told you that? Fella in town. Said there was a cowboy out this way picked up a little girl today. The room went still. Jack looked across at Lily. She had gone white. Mr. Jack said soft and easy. I'm going to tell you this one time. You step off that porch and you ride that horse with one shoe and you do not come back. Not tonight, not tomorrow, not ever. I don't want trouble. Then you found the wrong porch. I just want to see the girl. That ain't happening. Just to be sure she's safe. She's safe 'cause I'm standing here with a Winchester. A long silence. Jack could hear the man's breath on the other side of the door. Heavy. Patient. All right, the man said finally. All right, cowboy, I'll ride. You do that. But you tell her something for me. I ain't telling her nothing. Tell her Mr. Hale sends his regards. Jack yanked the door open with the rifle up. The porch was empty. He heard hoofbeats already half a pasture away. Fast. The kind of fast a man rides when he got what he came for. Jack slammed the door and threw the bolt. Lily. Yes. He knows you're alive. Yes. He's going back to tell. Yes. Lily, look at me. She looked. We got about 3 days. Maybe 4. For something worse in him comes through that door. I know. You know. Yes. Jack set the rifle on the table, sat down on the bench across from her, put his hands on his knees and made himself breathe. All right, little one. We gotta think. I've been thinking. That's so. Yes. What you been thinking? Lily lifted her chin the way a woman 3 times her age might have done. The big house has a room under the floor. That's where they put the children when somebody came to visit. I was there once. I heard what happens upstairs. Lily. There's a book. Mr. Hale writes in it. He writes names and numbers. The numbers are what he got paid. Jack's mouth went dry. Paid for what? For the children. Jack stood up so fast the bench scraped. He walked to the window, walked back, walked to the window again. Lily, how old are you really? I don't know. The woman said 5, but I know things. Yeah, you know things. Jack. Yeah. The book is in his desk, bottom drawer, on the left. You saw it. I saw him put it away. He didn't know I was looking. Lily. Yes. If that book got out into the world, he would hang. Jack stared at her. Who taught you that word, girl? I heard it. A man said it about another man. He said, he'll hang for this. I remembered. Jack sat back down. He put his face in his hands a moment. When he lifted his head, he was a different man than he'd been that morning. All right, he said. All right, Lily. We ain't running. I didn't think we were. You didn't? No, you don't look like a runner. What do I look like? A man who stayed too long already. Jack let out a breath that was almost a laugh. Girl, you got a mouth on you. Is that bad? No, Lily, that ain't bad. Morning came hard and cold. Jack was up before the light. He carried Lily to the chair by the window with the blanket over her lap and set a cup of warm milk in her hands. Drink that. I got work. What work? Fixin' your chair. Can I watch? You're gonna do more'n watch. He dragged the broken wheelchair into the middle of the room, laid his tools out, sat down on the floor. Lily, come here. I can't. Right. He got up, carried her over, set her on a folded blanket on the floor beside him. Now, look at the wheel. The bent one. Yeah. It's bent because somebody ran it into something hard. That's right. How you know that? There's a scrape, and the scrape goes one way, so it hit and kept going. Jack stopped working. Looked at her. Lily. Yes. You ever seen somebody fix a wheel before? No. Then how you know about the scrape? I just saw it. You just saw it? Yes. He shook his head slow. Went back to the wheel. All right. You're going to hold this here, while I bend this, hard as you can. Okay. Don't let it slip. I won't. He hammered. She held. The metal gave. The wheel came round. Jack. Yeah. Why does the chair have no arms? 'Cause they broke 'em off when they shoved you in it. Oh. I'm putting new ones on, bigger, so you got something to push against. Push against for what? For getting up. Lily went quiet. Jack? Yeah. I can't get up. You can. Different than other folks, but you can. How? You'll see. He worked all morning. She held what he told her to hold, handed him what he asked for. Once he asked for the smaller hammer, and before he finished saying it, she had her hand on it. He stopped. Looked at her. You knew which one? You reached for it once already. I watched where you put it back. Jack rubbed the back of his neck. Lord have mercy. By noon, the chair was something else. Heavier, steadier. 2 real wheels that didn't wobble. A wooden brake under the right arm she could push down with her thumb. A strap across the lap so she wouldn't pitch forward on rough ground. Try it. He lifted her in. She settled, put her hand on the brake. Push the brake down. She pushed. Click. Push it the other way. She pushed. Click. Now roll yourself across the floor. She put her hands on the wheels, pushed. The chair rolled. Jack. Yeah. I can move. Yeah, Lily, you can move. She rolled herself all the way to the door and back. Then to the fireplace and back. Then around the table twice. Jack watched her and did not trust his voice. Jack? Yeah. Thank you. Don't thank me for what you should have had. I'm thanking you anyway. All right, Lily. All right. The first time he took her to town, folks crossed the street. Jack, they're moving away. I see 'em. Why? 'Cause they're ashamed. Of what? Of what they did. A woman on the boardwalk muttered loud enough to be heard. Man ought to drown that chair and start fresh. Jack stopped the horse. Ma'am? She looked up. You got something to say about this child, you say it to her face. I didn't. You said it in her hearing. Same thing. Mr. Turner, I didn't mean. Lily? Yes. This here's Mrs. Harlan. She was on the porch yesterday. She watched you freeze, and she said you wasn't her problem. Lily looked the woman in the eye, did not blink. I remember, Lily said. The woman's face went red. Well, I remember your green shawl, Lily said. And your voice. You said she can't just take her. You said that when I had blue lips. Child. I am not a child you can talk around. I was there. I heard you. The woman put her hand on her chest. Jack tipped his hat. Good day, Mrs. Harlan, he wrote on. Jack? Yeah. Was that mean? No, Lily. That was true. Mean and true are different. Yeah, they are. At the mercantile, the man behind the counter would not meet Jack's eye. Flour, salt, coffee, sugar, beans, lard, matches, and whatever you got in the way of shoes for a child. Turner, I can't sell to you. What? I'm sorry. You're sorry. Word come this morning. I ain't to sell to you till the matter of the child is settled. Word from who? The man's throat worked. Word from who, mister? Mr. Hale sent a rider. The store went dead quiet. 2 other customers pretended to look at canned peaches. Jack set his hands flat on the counter. Mr. Hale, Yes, sir. The Mr. Hale with the black fence. I don't know about no fence. Sure you do. Mr. Turner, please. He's a big man in this territory. He pays folks. He don't pay me if I sell you flour. Jack leaned in. His voice dropped to where only the clerk could hear. Mister, you ever seen what's behind that black fence? I ain't seen nothing. Then you keep not seein'. But you are gonna sell me flour, because this child ain't going hungry on account of your spine. Mr. Turner, you want me to say out loud in front of these good people what I know about Mr. Hale and children? The clerk went gray. What do you... I reckon you don't want me to say it. Mr. Turner, please. Flour, salt, coffee, sugar, beans, lard, matches, shoes for a child. Put it on my tab. The clerk started bagging. Lily watched Jack from her chair by the door. She did not say a word till they were back on the wagon and a mile out of town. Jack. Yeah. You scared him. Yeah. You scared him on purpose. Yeah. He knew something. He knew something. Jack. Yeah. He's not the only one. Jack looked at her sidelong. What you mean? The big house. Mr. Hale don't do it alone. There were other men. Men who came. Men who paid. One of them wore a star. Jack pulled the reins. The horse stopped. A star. Yes. A sheriff's star. Yes. You sure? Yes. I saw it on his coat. It was brass. He laughed a lot. He had a gold tooth. Gold tooth. Yes. Jack sat with the reins in his hands a long moment. Doyle, he said. I don't know his name. I do. Elias rode out that night. He did not knock. He came around back and tapped the kitchen window twice. Jack let him in through the back door with the rifle still in his hand. Jack, put that thing down. Tell me why I should. 'Cause I ain't who you're waiting for. Jack set the rifle against the wall. Talk. Hale's comin' hisself. Jack closed his eyes. When? 3 days, maybe 2. Word is he's bringin' 6 men. 6. 6 that I heard of. Could be more. Why hisself? 'Cause the big fella told him the girl's alive and talkin'. And what does Hale think is gonna happen when he rides up to my door? He thinks you're gonna hand her over, and when I don't, he thinks his 6 men are gonna take her. Jack laughed, short and dry. Elias. Yeah. Doyle. Elias's face changed. What about Doyle? Lily says a man with a sheriff's star used to come to that house. Goldtooth. Elias sat down slow at the table. Lord. Yeah. Lord Jack. Yeah. That's why he wouldn't ride out to the church. That's why he said leave her be. That's why. Elias put his face in his hands. Jack, this is bigger'n you. Yeah. Bigger'n me too? I know. What you gonna do? Jack looked across the room. Lily was in her new chair by the fire listening. She had not made a sound since Elias came in. Her hands were folded in her lap. I'm gonna ask the girl, Jack said. Elias turned. Jack, she's 5 years old. She's 5 years old, and she counted the other children on her fingers and ran out of fingers. She knows where the book is. She knows the sheriff has a gold tooth. She knows more about this than you and me put together. Jack. Lily. Yes. You heard all that. Yes. What do you want to do? Lily rolled her chair forward. Slow, steady. She came right up to the table and set her small hands on the edge. I want the book, she said. Jack nodded once. All right, I want the book out of the drawer and into a place where men in big cities can read it. Elias stared at her. Child. I know where it is. I know where the key is. I know when he's not in the house. Lily, Jack said, we ain't riding to that house with a 5-year-old. No. No, He's coming to us. Yeah. Then when he's gone from there, the house is empty of him. That's when the book leaves. Jack looked at Elias. Elias looked at Jack. Jesus Mary, Elias said. She's thinking 3 moves ahead. Jack said. I heard her. Elias? Yeah. You know anybody you trust? Anybody with a fast horse and no ties to Doyle? I know one man, young, rides mail sometimes. His mama died last winter, and he blames Hale for not paying the doctor he owed. Can he ride 2 days hard? He can ride 3. Then he rides. While Hale's coming here, he goes there. He gets the book. Jack, that's a boy against a whole household. Lily spoke up. Quiet. The household is 4 women and an old man. The women will let him in if he says the right thing. Elias turned to her. What's the right thing? Lily thought a moment. Tell the woman with the scar on her cheek that the little girl in the wheelchair is alive and warm. Tell her the girl said the book. She'll know. She'll give it to him. Lily. Yes. Who is the woman with the scar? She's the one who fed us. She didn't leave. She couldn't leave. He had her daughter. Jack felt something cold go down his back. Lily. How old was her daughter? I don't know. Smaller than me. Where is her daughter now? Lily did not answer. Jack closed his eyes. Elias. Yeah. Your man rides tomorrow at dawn. He rides tomorrow. And when he gets back with that book, if he gets back. When he gets back with that book, we ride to the territorial marshal, not the sheriff, not the county, the marshal, and we hand the book over. Jack, you know what Hale'll do for then? Yeah. He'll come here. With 6 men. Yeah. To take a little girl. He ain't gonna take her. Jack. He ain't Elias. Elias stood up slow, put his hat back on. I ride at first light. Ride safe. Ain't nothing safe about this. No, I reckon not. After Elias left, Jack bolted the door and the windows and the back door too. He walked back into the main room and sat down across from Lily in her chair. Lily. Yes, 3 days. 3 days. Maybe 2. Maybe 2. You scared? She thought about it honestly the way she thought about everything. Some. Yeah, me too. Jack. Yeah. Are you going to die for me? Jack did not answer right away. He looked at the fire. He looked at the rifle. He looked at her. Lily. Yes, I've been a lot of things in my life. Most of them I ain't proud of. I run from a war I shouldn't have run from. I let a woman go I shouldn't have let go. I sat drunk in a boarding house for 2 years while the country moved on without me. I ain't done much worth the doing. Okay. But I picked you up this morning. Yes. And whatever I was before this morning, I ain't that no more. Okay. So am I gonna die for you? Yes. I reckon I'm gonna live for you, Lily. That's harder, and I'm gonna do it anyway. She did not cry. She did not nod. She just looked at him with those old eyes. And then she rolled her chair across the floor and put her small hand on his knee. Jack. Yeah. I'm going to live for you too. He put his hand over hers. It covered hers entirely. His was rough and scarred, and hers was soft and small and warm. They sat like that a long time. Outside on the road between the ranch and the black fence, Victor Hale was already in the saddle, already moving, already coming. And Jack Turner, who had run from every fight that had ever asked something of him, sat in his own house beside a girl in a wheelchair and made a promise he meant to keep. He fed the fire. He loaded the rifle. He stayed. Dawn came gray and mean. Jack was at the kitchen table before the sky turned. Lily. Yes. Roll over here. She rolled, set her hands on the table edge. Edge.